Thanos destroyed half the universe. But one infinity stone remained, the one no one dared to speak of. It wasn't time. It wasn't power. It was something forbidden. Spider Man found it, not by fate, but because it called to him. And when he touched it, it didn't glow, it screamed. Thor felt it. Iron Man's suit went cold. Even Doctor Strange forgot his name. Because this stone didn't control the universe. It controlled the heroes who thought they could. The asteroid didn't crash. It folded into reality. Like paper turning inside out in the sky, it appeared above Earth's orbit. Silent, black, breathing. Peter Parker saw it through Stark's old orbital lens. It wasn't falling. It was waiting. The alarms at Avengers Tower didn't trigger. No seismic tremors. No quantum ripples. No one noticed it except Peter. Not Iron Man. Not Doctor Strange. Just Spider Man. He suited up fast, even though something in his bones said no. Not Spider-Sense. Something older. Like he'd seen that shape before. In a dream. In a life that wasn't his. He didn't tell anyone. He hitched a ride using the last surviving piece of a Stark-built orbital glider. Oxygen low. AI dead. But the coordinates pulled him like gravity. The wreckage hovered above the dark side of Earth, frozen debris, twisted Wakandan metal. Sanctum rings melted into celestial glass. In the center, a shattered sphere, black and gold, crying light through its cracks. And inside it, a stone, small, silent, beating like a heart. Peter hovered, magnetic boots stabilizing. He touched down. The moment his fingers brushed the stone's edge, he felt it. A silence, so loud it made his blood scream. His spider sense snapped, then stopped working entirely. He wasn't alone. Not in space, in himself. The stone wasn't just glowing, it was vibrating with identity. It knew him. Not Peter Parker, the boy from Queens, but every version, every Spider-Man, every failure, every death. It knew them all. He yanked his hand back. Too late. A shockwave of colorless light rippled across the orbital void. Peter's mask flickered. Stars blinked. Earth spun the wrong way for half a second, then corrected itself. No one noticed. Not yet. He should have left it, but his fingers closed around it. He wasn't Spider-Man anymore. He was remembering things he never lived. He saw Aunt May die in 20 different ways. He saw MJ vanish in dust. He saw a universe where he became Venom's god. One where he killed Thanos with a thought. One where he wore the gauntlet. He screamed. The sound didn't echo, but the multiverse heard it. He landed back on Earth hard. The rooftop cracked beneath him. His hand shook. He was holding a stone that didn't belong in this dimension. It didn't match any of the six. Not mind, not soul, not time, not reality, not space, not power. It was darker and alive. Tony would know what this is, Peter whispered, but Iron Man was gone. Only the suits remained. And Jarvis didn't answer anymore. He rushed to the vault, loaded up every scanner Stark ever built. Spectrometers, quantum decoders, even the neural pulse mapper. Nothing. No data. Every reading came back blank. Not zero. Not corrupt. Just nothing. Like the stone unexisted in measurable space. Peter locked it in a vibranium box and double-shielded it with leftover sorcerer runes Strange once gave him. Then the door blew off the vault. Thor stood there, eyes glowing. Peter didn't even have time to ask. "Where did you find it?" the god growled, Mjolnir vibrating behind him. I don't know what it is." "You shouldn't have touched it." Thor grabbed him by the chest. "That stone should have stayed lost with the Titans." Peter pushed back, panicked. It was just floating out there. Thor's grip loosened. He looked over Peter's shoulder at the box. "Did it speak to you?" he asked, voice low. Peter froze. "No," he lied. Thor backed away, whispering something ancient under his breath. "That is not an infinity stone. It is older. My father called it the Stone of Memory, but even that name is too kind. It rewrites not the past, but the truth." Peter shook his head. "What does that even mean?" Thor turned. "It means no one around you will remember who you are. Not even you." Within hours, things changed. Peter called Strange. No answer. He called Banner. Disconnected. He pinged the emergency Avengers line. No log. No system. No record of Spider Man being an Avenger. Even Friday didn't respond to his voice. Peter walked outside in Queens, and his name was gone from the mailbox. His apartment? Rented to someone else. Aunt May's grave? Blank. MJ's number? This contact does not exist. He stood in Times Square, screaming. No one looked. Then a portal opened above the Chrysler Building, not gold and spinning like Strange's. This one cracked sideways through the clouds like torn paper, and from it stepped another Spider-Man. Older, black suit, eyes sharper, voice raspier. He didn't speak. He looked at Peter like he'd seen a ghost, then said the one thing Peter was afraid of. You open it. Peter nodded. The other Spider-Man sighed. Then, they're coming. Who? The ones who built it. The ones Thanos never found. The ones who don't snap the universe. He looked up. They rewrite it. And above them, 6 more rifts opened, each one shaped like an eye, and blinking. He didn't sleep. He couldn't. The stone wasn't in the box anymore. Peter had locked it under 7 layers of vibranium, Stark encryptions, and leftover Wakandan force tech. It was supposed to be untouchable. Now it sat on his bedside table, pulsing. He stared at it. It stared back. Then his phone rang, but not with a number, just a blinking message. Come to the sanctum. Now, Peter barely made it out the window before the wind turned electric. Clouds swirled. The moon flickered like a dying light bulb. And down below, the sanctum sanctorum no longer looked like a house. It looked like a wound in the world. He landed on the steps. The doors opened themselves. Inside was chaos, gravity sideways, walls melting into fractals. Doctor Strange stood at the center, suspended midair, blood running down from his eyes. You touched the stone, he croaked. Peter didn't answer. The stone was in his pocket again. He didn't remember picking it up. Strange snapped his fingers, and the room locked into place. Reality freezing like broken time. That stone isn't part of our universe, Strange said, hovering. It's not even part of our multiverse. Peter looked up. Then why was it here? Because something left it behind, Strange replied. Something that wanted to remember what Thanos forgot. Peter stepped forward. Can we destroy it? Strange's voice turned colder. We tried once. Odin failed. The Ancient Ones sacrificed time itself. Even the living tribunal burned, trying to seal it. Peter blinked. So what do I do? You run, Strange whispered. And you hide. Behind them, a crack appeared in the wall. Not a hole, a memory. Like film playing backward. It showed a battle Peter had never fought, a city that never existed, and himself, standing over a fallen Tony Stark, holding the same stone. Then the memory shattered, and the sanctum exploded. Peter was thrown into the street as the dome burst into flames. Citizens screamed, but no one looked at him. Not one person saw him. He wasn't invisible. He was being erased. He webbed away, heart pounding. He needed answers. He needed someone to say his name out loud. He landed at Stark's old lab, empty, silent, except for one voice. Mechanical, cold, familiar. Peter Parker, said the suit. It wasn't Friday. It was Edith, the last AI Tony built. The one he gave Peter, then took back. Edith came online through the lab's old display, accessing restricted memory logs. Show me everything you have on the Black Stone, Peter said. Edith replied, no such object exists in Stark archives. Peter's voice cracked. Then show me. Edith paused. Peter Parker is not in the Avengers Initiative. Peter Parker has no next of kin. Peter Parker was deleted from all known records. Peter backed away. Then a suit walked in. Not a person, just the Iron Man armor, powered up, no pilot. It looked at him. Then it spoke. Return the stone, Peter. Peter froze. I don't know how, he said. The armor raised its palm. Peter dodged the repulsor blast just in time. It shattered the console. He launched a web, but the armor had evolved. It dodged, countered, fired net, and slammed him against the wall. As it raised its palm again, a bolt of red energy cut through the wall. Wanda, Scarlet Witch, walked through the flames, eyes glowing. "He's mine." The armor turned to her. She waved her hand, and the entire suit crumpled into dust. Peter gasped, "Thank you." But Wanda didn't smile. She held out her hand. "The stone. Now." Peter backed away. "Wanda, please." "I felt it," she said. "It speaks to those who've lost." Her voice trembled. "I saw my children again." Peter clenched his fist around the stone in his pocket. "I'm sorry," she screamed. Reality bent. The air turned inside out. Peter fell through a sidewalk that wasn't there anymore and landed on a rooftop in Brooklyn, bleeding, dizzy, alone. And someone was already waiting. Captain Marvel hovered above the building, arms crossed. "Heard you've been causing problems." Peter stood. "I don't want to fight." "Too late," she replied. "You touched something we swore never to speak of. That stone isn't yours. It belongs to the council." Peter's heart raced. "What council?" She raised her hand, energy charged. The stone burned in his pocket, and the voice returned. "They will all betray you." He ran. He didn't look back. Through alleyways, between dimensions, glitching through flickers of himself. One moment, he saw a younger version of himself, hoodie and goggles, reaching for the same stone. The next, he saw an older Peter, mask torn, claws instead of web shooters, slaughtering a future Carol Danvers. Each flicker lasted only seconds, but they left marks. His skin began changing, not visibly, but internally, like something was rewriting his blood. He landed in a ruined church miles outside New York, one of the few places no satellite tracked. Inside, shadows whispered, and a voice spoke behind him. "You're early." Peter turned. Another Peter. Not just a variant, a warrior. Older, tired, wearing a symbiotic black and red suit, with spider legs fused into the spine. "I thought I'd have more time," the older Peter said. Peter stepped back. "Who are you?" "I'm what you become if you survived what's coming." "What is coming?" The older Peter looked up. "The Reclaimers. The ones who built that stone." He stepped closer. "They don't collect power. They collect identity." The air shifted. A ripple of dark wind passed through the windows. "They rewrite timelines, Peter, one by one, until only their story remains." The stone in Peter's pocket pulsed. The older Peter nodded. "You can't trust the Avengers now. Not Strange. Not Wanda. Not Thor. Not even me." Peter's hand shook. "Then who do I trust?" And for the first time, the older Peter smiled. "You trust a part of you that's still afraid." Behind them, thunder cracked. The multiverse was beginning to unravel. And this time, it wasn't a snap. It was a rewrite. Doctor Strange shattered time. It wasn't a spell. Not exactly. It was a choice. A cut. Like slicing a film reel with trembling hands. Because whatever the stone was doing, it had already reached beyond dimensions. Beyond realms. And Peter was the anchor now. The sanctum's ruins flickered in reverse. One moment burned, the next intact. Then gone completely. Strange floated in the center of an empty Manhattan sky, hands forming circles within circles. His eyes were gone, replaced by infinite reflections of himself in 100 timelines. Around him, the city slowed. Raindrops froze midair. Traffic stilled like mannequins. Light bent and hung like jellyfish in water. And for a moment, it worked. Until the scream broke through. A voice not of this universe. Not of any. It echoed from nowhere, but cracked strange seal like glass. And then Deadpool dropped out of the sky, face first. "Okay, OW," he said, getting up, covered in blood and confetti. Peter stepped forward from a church, stone pulsing in his palm. "Deadpool." Deadpool blinked. "Huh, so it's you. That's disappointing. I thought the Spider Man in this one was taller." Peter didn't answer. Deadpool's face turned serious, disturbingly serious. "You don't know what you're holding, do you? I know it's destroying everything." "Not destroying," Deadpool whispered. "Rewriting. That stone doesn't erase people, it edits the script. It doesn't snap life away, it changes the plot. He pulled out a charred piece of paper from his suit. It was a comic book page. Peter's name was scratched out, replaced with unnamed entity. "I've seen what happens," Deadpool said. "You think you'll stay Peter Parker, but one day you'll wake up and the story won't belong to you anymore." Peter clenched the stone. Strange floated toward them, his hands flickering. "This timeline is sealed," he said. "No one else leaves. No one else enters. This is the last thread." Peter shook his head. "Then what's that?" They turned. A tear opened in the sky. Not a portal, not a rift. A slit in the page of existence. From it stepped something tall, armored. Its face was Peter's, but wrong. No warmth, no fear, just metal and malice. A Spider-Man built from nanotech and ancient bones. Red eyes, no mouth. Each step made the earth vibrate. "What is that?" Peter asked. Deadpool backed up. "That's the editor." The armored Spider-Man raised one hand, and the clouds above them pixelated. Bits of the world began to flicker, like a computer crash. Only this was reality. It pointed at Peter, and spoke. Not in words, in code. "You are not meant to survive issue 217. Strange screamed, pulling magic through every mirror dimension at once. But it was too late. Time collapsed. Peter fell through 7 realities at once. He saw himself fighting Rhino in a universe where Aunt May led the Avengers. He saw Gwen Stacy holding the stone instead of him. He saw Tony Stark never die and turn into Galactus. Then he landed, in silence, in a garden. And sitting across from him was Vision. But not just Vision. This one was gold, alive, and holding a broken version of the same stone. "You came sooner than expected," Vision said. Peter struggled to breathe. Where am I?" "This is what's left of the true timeline," Vision replied. Before the edit, Peter looked around. It was peaceful, quiet, too perfect. "No pain here?" Peter asked. "No truth," Vision replied. He held up the broken stone. The last version of this stone erased a god named Logos. Reality cracked. The multiverse tried to repair it by erasing the stone completely, but something always slips through. Peter clutched his. Vision reached out. "Give it to me. I can contain it." Peter hesitated, then shook his head. "I think it wants me to finish something." Vision's face tightened. "Then it will devour you last." The garden began to burn. Peter woke up screaming in another version of New York. Only this time, he wasn't alone. There were hundreds of Spider-Men, some broken, some monstrous, some noble, all of them staring at him. They stood in a massive circle, on the edge of a glowing platform floating in empty blackness. Behind them, fractured cities, burning timelines, crushed Avengers. Peter looked around, heart racing. "I didn't call you." A voice echoed behind him. It was him again, the older Peter, the one from the church, the one with the black-red suit. "I called them," he said. "Every Peter, every version, because they're being hunted." Peter stepped forward. By the editor, the older Peter shook his head. "No." He pointed at the stone. "They're being hunted by you." Peter froze. "What?" "You don't realize it yet," the older Peter said, stepping closer. "But every time you hold that stone, another version of you dies." Peter shook his head violently. No, I'm not." "They don't die in battle," the older Peter continued. "They're removed. Their storylines collapse. Their MJ forgets them. Their Aunt May never raised them. Some never even get bit." Peter dropped the stone. The multiverse shook. Every Spider-Man in the circle fell to their knees, groaning. The older Peter screamed, "Pick it up. If you drop it now, they all die." Peter lunged and grabbed it again. Silence. Balance restored. Breathing fast, Peter looked around. This is my fault?" "No," the older Peter said softly. "But you're the last thread holding it together. And something wants that thread cut." Suddenly, a crack opened in the circle. A giant black hand reached in, clawed, glowing, stitched from timeline strings. And it pulled one Spider-Man through it, screaming, until he vanished. No blood, just deletion. Peter turned. Who was that? The older Peter closed his eyes. Miles. Peter's breath stopped. "We're losing them," the older Peter said. "Every second the stone exists, someone else becomes unwritten." Peter looked down at the stone, then looked up and said, "Then take me to the one who wrote it." There was no path, just descent. The multiverse folded like an origami star, and Peter fell through its folds, not as a body, but as a memory. Every scream, every death, every timeline he never lived passed through his soul, like wind through shattered glass. Then silence. A throne waited in the dark, but it wasn't made of stone or metal. It was made of stories, pages, comics, glowing manuscripts of history rewritten. Sitting on the throne was something Peter couldn't describe. Not a man, not a monster, not a god. A presence cloaked in pure concept, like someone made of origin stories themselves. Each flicker of its face showed a different writer, a different timeline, a different Spider-Man. "You are the last one holding the pen," the voice said. Peter stood shakily. "Who are you?" "I am the author," the presence replied. "Before Thanos dreamed, before eternity breathed, I existed. Not to destroy, but to rewrite." Peter held out the stone. "You left this behind." "No," the author said. "I gave it away." Peter stepped forward. "Why me?" "Because you cling to identity, to pain, to guilt. You're the only hero who believes he doesn't deserve to be one. That makes you pure. That makes you easy to mold." Peter's voice hardened. "You used me." The author didn't deny it. "I edited you." Peter raised the stone. "Then unwrite me. Leave the others alone." The author stood, unfolding into shape, a monstrous silhouette stitched from every villain Peter ever faced. "I could erase all Spider-Men with a sentence," it said, "but I offer you a gift instead." It raised a hand. A glowing orb formed in the air, one universe, clean, untouched, May alive, MJ in his arms. No Avengers, no pain. "Take it," the author said. "Live. Forget." Peter stared at it. Tears filled his eyes. He stepped closer, then stopped. "No." The author tilted its head. "I don't need a perfect story," Peter whispered. "I need a true one." He raised the stone, not to keep it, but to crush it. The author screamed. The void bent. "You can't." Peter shouted back, "Watch me." And then, in the heart of all stories, Spider-Man broke the edit. He crushed the stone in his hands. It didn't explode. It bled. One final pulse of light erupted, and with it, a scream from every forgotten Peter Parker, every deleted Spider-Man, every erased choice. Returned. The author shattered. The throne burned, and Peter fell backward into truth. The sky stitched itself back together. Broken timelines recoiled, healed, screamed, then fell silent. Peter hit the ground hard. This was Earth, not a variant, not a memory, his Earth. But everything was different now. The air was too still, too clean, the kind of quiet that comes after the end. He stood in the middle of Times Square. Billboards lit, traffic moved. People walked past him. None of them looked. He wasn't invisible. He was unknown. "Excuse me," he said to a man. "Do you know who Peter Parker is?" The man smiled. "Sorry, doesn't ring a bell." Peter smiled back, but his heart cracked. He walked to Queens. His house was gone. A different family lived there. MJ? May? Ned? No record. No photos. No trace. The cost of destroying the stone wasn't just the author. It was himself. In every timeline that returned, Peter Parker was erased to bring them back. He checked his phone. No contacts. No call logs. No social media. No Jonah yelling his name. He wasn't hunted anymore. But he wasn't held either. He was free. He was forgotten. And somehow he was okay with that. Because across the world, Spider-Men were waking up. Miles Morales, alive in Brooklyn, sketching in his notebook. Gwen, swinging again in her dimension. Even Ben Reilly, reborn in a universe where he never broke. One by one, they remembered who they were, even if no one remembered him. Peter walked to a rooftop and pulled on his mask. It still fit. The suit shimmered faintly. a residue of the stone's power still embedded in the threads. Not enough to rewrite, just enough to remember. He looked out over the city. Crime still existed. The weak still suffered. Heroes still bled. And Spider-Man? He still swung. He leapt off the edge, webs shooting into the air, slicing wind like it was his only anchor to the world. He moved like a ghost who had nothing left to lose, but everything left to protect. As he vanished into the New York skyline, beneath the earth, deep below the ruins of the sanctum, a pulse, tiny, black, faint, a whisper, not a roar. The second stone blinked awake. End.